Have you ever asked the Most High for something and he said no? Like a straight N-O, no? That rarely actually happens to people. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't. But it rarely does. A lot of times he gives us signs that we are to follow. And we like to pray quick prayers like, if this isn't for me, then remove it. And while that can be an effective prayer sometimes, it's not always, because he wants us to listen to the preceding words that are coming out of his mouth. He wants us to actually follow his will. He wants us to actually acknowledge him in all of our ways. He doesn't want us to seek an easy way out. And I think that's what a lot of us do, is we try to seek an easy way out. Do you trust Yah, or do you just want the outcomes that he gives? Do you ask him for things in hopes to receive, but don't actually trust him or have a relationship with him? A lot of us also go through that, where we want things from him, but we don't want to give back. We don't want to put in the effort, and we simply just want to keep living our lives without doing anything towards our spiritual life. And that's not the way to live. Only Yah knows what's best for us, and we are to trust him in order to actually walk in the path of what is best for us. And that's the thing. Yah's perspective is eternal, and ours is only limited. We only have a limited view of what our future looks like, where our steps may lead us, and time passes so quickly, and we look up and we're in a whole different place than we were before. Back when I was actively doing YouTube, I was in a whole different place than I am in right now. A different place physically, a different place in my mindset, a different place in my relationship. And I've learned so much over the years that I haven't documented, but I've learned so much over the years. And part of it have come from trusting the Most High. And I'm still on this journey. It kind of feels like the beginning all over again, because sometimes we have to restart. Sometimes we have to shed some things and let go of what is holding us back. And it could be anything. That's the thing. We don't know what's holding us back. We'll end up having situations and not realizing that those situations that we caused is the thing holding us back. And I can think back 2 years ago, for instance, and see that I was doing the same exact thing. I was literally holding myself back, allowing situations to keep me stuck, and I didn't know where I was going. I think back 5 months ago, I was journaling and I was thinking about how far behind I was, how I wasn't doing enough for myself in my life, and I've even came a far ways since then. And I think it's important for us to continue to grow, but not lose track of ourselves and our relationship with the Most High. Because as I said before, his perspective is eternal, ours is temporary. We don't always know things. We don't always know where we're headed. And a big drastic change can happen so quickly, it will leave your head spinning. What feels like a delay, denial, or confusion may actually be protection or redirection. And that's a hard one for people to accept. It's a hard one for me to accept, that sometimes what doesn't work out for us is for the better. And it can leave you heartbroken, it can leave you confused, it can leave you with a mix of different emotions. But we just have to realize, instead of falling into the trap of denial or confusion or all of these feelings, it's better to realize that it might actually be protection from the Most High and redirection to something much better, much greater than we could have imagined. And it's important that we keep an open mind to spiritual things and guidance, so that we don't actually fall into the trap of stagnation and we actually grow. And that's the thing. It leads me back to trusting the Most High. Trust isn't about just understanding everything. It's literally believing in what Yah's purpose is for us. It's literally believing that Yah is good and he will bring about good in our life, even when it feels like our life isn't good. And even if bad comes to our life, we still have the trust that, fine, maybe in this life I might not experience all that I want, but in the next life, if I trust him, I will have more than I could have ever imagined. And it's about keeping that hope, keeping that trust, and moving forward with hopes aligning with that mindset, because that mindset helps you stay elevated above negativity. It helps you to keep moving. It keeps you on the right path and so many other things. And it's really a very overlooked aspect of positivity and moving forward and growth is literally just trusting and believing. It doesn't take any work to believe. It doesn't take any extra effort to believe. It literally just takes letting go of what you've held on to and trusting in the Most High, regardless of what you see. Faith is not about what you see, it's about what you believe in. Which brings me to the scripture in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in Yahuwah with all of your heart and do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths smooth. I love this scripture. This is a different translation than what we're used to, but it normally says trust in Yahuwah with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. If we want direction, we literally have to trust him. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. If we want direction in our life, we have to trust the Most High. We can't lean to our own understanding. Even when it comes to the things happening in our life, if we're leaning to what we think is the truth, we're leaning to what we think is the direction for us that leads to the greatest success and happiness. If we're leaning to what we think is best, chances are we're going to end up straying away from the path that actually leads to that success and happiness. But if we lean not unto our understanding, but trust the Most High and acknowledge him in all of our ways, even the little things, he will actually be able to direct our paths because he is given the go-ahead. That's the thing that people forget, is that we have free will. We literally have free will to choose what we want to do. So it's up to us to put the Most High back into our life, to allow him to actually guide our steps and our ways and the things that we're doing in life. Is up to us to allow him back into our life. And when we don't do that, we end up leading confusing lives and not actually having the direction that we need in order to grow and prosper in life. So that's why I love the scripture, because it states it plain. Lean not to your own understanding, trust in the Most High, he will direct your paths. It's just that simple. We have to keep in mind that the Most High sees what we want. He knows what we want. He just wants us to ask for it. And not only does he want us to ask for it, he wants us to work towards it and be faithful, but not put so much focus on the things that we want so much, but more towards what is important in life and how to serve him. If we delight ourselves in him, he will give us the desires of our heart. But if we're delighting ourselves in the desires of our heart and not putting focus on him, then we'll end up leading ourselves down the road of desire and not down the road of what's truly for us, what his will is for us, what's best for us. We go based on what's best for our emotions and our feelings and our desires, and not what's actually best for our life as a whole. And I think that we just need to allow the Most High back into our life. As simple as that. Closed doors aren't always a rejection, and it's not always to show or say that the Most High doesn't want us to have what we want, but sometimes we don't even know what we want. And as crazy as that sounds, it's true. That's why we grow, we get older, and we learn, and we look back on our mistakes and say, I was so foolish. Because we don't always know what we want. We're just going based on how we feel and our desires in the moment, but not what's best for us entirely. And once we add Yah back into our life and allow him to guide us, we can actually begin to see what it is that we need more clearly and work towards it without having a clouded vision. But when we remove the Most High from the equation, that's when things become more confusing, and we start to lose direction in life. And we don't want to lose direction in life. It's important that we try to maintain a level head and keep our eyes on the prize and acknowledge our desires, but also give and spend time with the Most High. And the thing about all of this is that trust is tested in waiting. Yah will require you to wait for a while. He will put you in a season where you have to wait. You have to come to terms with your emotions. You have to get stronger. You have to become more patient. He will put you in that season to test you and to try you and see if you're really ready for the blessing that he has for you. And sometimes he'll surprise you. When you actually submit to that waiting period and you allow yourself to be patient, your blessing will come so quickly it will make your head spin. You'll be doubting you're even ready for the blessing because it will come that quickly when you actually submit to waiting. And that's not to say this is like all the time that it will come this quickly, but in my experience and so many others, When you finally submit to His will and to waiting and being patient, the blessing will literally be right around the corner, ready for you to receive. And sometimes when you do receive that blessing, you don't receive the fullness of it. You don't receive the whole blessing. You still are required to wait. And I've been learning that lately, that I have to wait and I have to be patient. Yes, He gave me some things. Yes, I've been blessed. But if I want to receive the entirety of this blessing, I still have to be patient. And I still have to allow myself time to wait and to grow. And I think that real faith is revealed when prayers go unanswered or they are seeming to be delayed. Allow that time of delay. Allow that time of unanswered prayers for a while. Let your requests be made known to the Most High, and then patiently wait for those requests to be fulfilled. But don't beg. Just faithfully wait. Pray and bring them up sometimes, but faithfully wait and sincerely seek the Most High. Last but not least, I think we need to surrender and stop trying to control our life so closely. It is important to have some sort of control over our life, because obviously we have to make moves and we have to do things that are important to keep moving forward. But stop trying to control every single thing. Allow the Most High to have control over your life and literally just surrender everything. Surrender financial, surrender relationship, surrender every other aspect of your life, and allow Him to bless it and lead you so that you can make the right decisions that will lead to prosperity in life. And it will feel like a struggle to do this, because you have to get up every day, you have to do, the important things in your day. But the idea is to do those things while acknowledging the Most High and waiting for His blessing. Not just spontaneously doing things and then expecting Him to bless it, but acknowledging Him before you do things. And chances are, if you're about to do something wrong, you acknowledge Him, so He'll end up pushing you into the right direction if you're about to take the wrong step. But if you don't even acknowledge Him and give Him the ability to lead you, then you'll just be running out into traffic without no protection and without no eyes to see oncoming traffic. But if you allow Him to guide you, then you'll be able to see the signs and the lights before you step out onto that traffic. Trust requires letting go of the outcomes and trusting that even if you don't receive your desired outcome right away, that in time you will. That's what surrendering is all about. And faith and trust is surrendering your will and your desires and actually believing that in time it will all work out and all of the bumps in the road will smooth out eventually. So with that being said, only Yah knows what's best for you. So it's up to you to surrender your life and trust in Him and watch your life prosper. With that being said, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for my next video.